Can you imagine living suspended in the air, 30 meters above the ground, surrounded by dense forests, in a world where every step must be calculated with precision? For an isolated tribe in Papua New Guinea, this is no fantasy. It's their reality. Welcome to the world of the Korowai, a people who have found in the heights a way to protect their culture, their safety, and their unique way of life. But why do they live like this? Is it fear, tradition, or perhaps a way to escape a mysterious and even dark past? What drives a group of people to build homes that sway with the wind, in a setting where a single misstep could be fatal? Today, we'll dive into the story of this tribe, uncovering their motivations, their secrets, and what makes them so fascinating. Get ready, because this is a world where the ground is no guarantee of safety, and life happens in the heights. The Korowai live deep in the rainforests of Papua New Guinea, one of the most isolated and unexplored regions on the planet. Located in the southeastern part of the island of New Guinea, the area is dominated by a wild landscape. Towering trees that reach up to 50 meters, winding rivers, and an extremely humid climate with heavy rains almost year-round. This forest is so remote that many tribes in the region were only discovered in the second half of the 20th century. Human presence is rare, and access to the area requires long journeys by boat and on foot, crossing treacherous and inhospitable terrain. With temperatures ranging from 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, life in the forest is a constant challenge. The Korowai have learned to use the geography to their advantage. By building their homes high up in the trees, they avoid ground predators such as snakes and leopards, as well as an ancient danger, attacks from rival tribes. Despite their isolation, the Korowai live in small family groups scattered throughout the forest, with each group maintaining its own aerial city. Imagine walking through the jungle and suddenly looking up to see a house near the top of a tree, gently swaying in the wind. Incredible, isn't it? The story of the Korowai is like a lost page in time, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. For millennia, they lived in total isolation within the dense rainforests of Papua New Guinea, protected by a natural veil of towering trees and winding rivers. The discovery of this people only occurred in 1974, when Dutch anthropologist Johannes Veldhuizen was guided by locals to a small community suspended high in the trees. To the outside world, it seemed impossible. People living 30 meters above the ground in homes that defied the laws of physics and logic. But the Korowai's story didn't begin there. For countless generations, they developed a symbiotic relationship with the forest, using its resources sustainably. Every leaf, every trunk, every animal served a purpose in their daily lives. They don't just live in the forest, they are part of it. This deep connection with nature ensured their survival in such a hostile environment, where tropical diseases, predators, and food scarcity were constant threats. However, not everything about the Korowai is marked by harmony. For centuries, the tribe followed a unique and dark spiritual belief system. They believed in the Kakua, malevolent spirits that could possess people and bring misfortune to the community. The practice of cannibalism, which so shocked the world, was part of a justice ritual, where the person believed to be possessed was sacrificed to rid the group of evil. Oral accounts suggest that these practices were rigorously followed until at least the early stages of contact with the modern world. Speaking of contact, it brought transformations. In the 1980s, missionaries, filmmakers, and anthropologists began interacting with the Korowai. Some tribe members started traveling to nearby villages, where they learned about trade and modern tools. Despite this, much of the Korowai population still prefers their traditional way of life, where the forest is home and the trees form the heart of the community. Interestingly, contact with the outside world also sparked curiosity among the Korowai themselves. While they learned new practices, they also began sharing their story more widely, allowing the world to get to know them. But this contact wasn't always positive. The introduction of modernity brought previously unknown diseases and altered social dynamics, threatening their rich cultural heritage. Today, the Korowai's past stands as a testament to resilience. They bear the scars of struggles against nature, rival tribes, and even the challenges posed by globalization. Yet, they also remind the world that in an era of constant acceleration, there are still people who live authentically, preserving traditions and beliefs rooted in a time when humanity and nature were one. With such an intriguing and resilient past, one can't help but wonder, how can modernity coexist with ancestral ways without eroding what is most precious? The Korowai have a fascinating and unique culture, shaped by life in the forest and the isolation that shielded them from the outside world for centuries. Though they live in small family groups often scattered across vast areas of the rainforest, they are highly sociable within their community. Each family group maintains its own treehouse, but frequently interacts with others to exchange food, stories, and participate in rituals. The Korowai's sociability is deeply rooted in their customs and beliefs. They place a high value on cooperation. Building a treehouse, for instance, is a collective effort. Men, women, and even children have specific roles in the construction process. The men climb the trees to cut trunks and branches, while the women weave palm leaves for the roof. This process can take days and is always accompanied by singing and celebrations. Although initially perceived as distrustful by explorers, the Korowai exhibit a unique sense of hospitality when they feel a visitor poses no threat. They have a natural curiosity about outsiders, though they remain cautious, a reflection of the times when they had to defend themselves from invaders and rival tribes. The Korowai have a strong sense of community. Internal conflicts are resolved through dialogue or, in more severe cases, by the intervention of an informal leader, usually the eldest or most experienced member of the group. This leadership is respected but not imposed, and it is always tied to wisdom and the ability to protect the tribe. One of their most intriguing customs is the role of food in their social interactions. A meal is not just about survival. It is a moment of connection. They hunt together, fish together, and share everything they gather. Their staple food is sago, a starch extracted from the sago palm, which is prepared in various ways and shared during special occasions. Despite their contact with the modern world, the Korowai have maintained traditions that reinforce their identity. During rituals, they dance around fires and paint their bodies with clay and natural dyes, symbolizing their connection to the spirits of the forest. These moments are both celebrations and expressions of unity, reminding everyone that in the forest, no one lives alone. However, interaction with the outside world has brought subtle changes. Some Korowai who have had more contact with other communities or foreign visitors have begun adopting modern practices, such as using metal tools or basic clothing. Yet, these changes remain limited, as they strive to preserve their roots as much as possible. These customs show that, even in a world so different from ours, the value of human connections remains universal. If there's one thing that defines the Korowai and sets them apart from any other people in the world, it's their astonishing tree houses. Imagine living 30 meters above the ground in a structure made of wood and leaves, where the floor sways with the wind, but the view is absolutely breathtaking. For the Korowai, these houses are not just homes. They are fortresses that ensure their survival amidst the challenges of the forest. The construction of these tree houses is a remarkable feat of ancestral engineering. First, the tribe selects a tree that is strong and tall enough to support the weight of the house and its inhabitants. Trees like the wonbom are favored for their durability and resilience. The main trunk serves as a foundation, while larger branches act as support pillars. Once the tree is chosen, teamwork begins. The men climb to the top using vines and cut the branches that will form the platform. The floor is built with long logs tied together with vines, while the walls and roof are woven from palm leaves, creating a space that is sheltered from rain and wind. All of this is accomplished using rudimentary tools, often just machetes and simple axes. Access to the house is equally impressive. An improvised ladder made of branches or vines connects the ground to the entrance. For the Korowai, climbing up and down this ladder is as natural as walking is for us. Even young children learn from an early age to climb with ease and confidence. But why live so high up in the trees? Beyond protection from predators like leopards and snakes, these houses offer a natural defense against another age-old danger, attacks from rival tribes. Living at such heights allows the Korowai to spot threats from afar, giving them enough time to prepare or flee if necessary. Additionally, being elevated reduces exposure to disease-carrying insects, such as mosquitoes that spread malaria. Height also symbolizes status. The taller the house, the greater the prestige of the family that lives there. During certain ceremonies, the Korowai even build temporary houses that are even higher, showcasing their skill and bravery. While some of these practices are changing due to contact with the outside world, many Korowai families continue to build and live in these suspended homes, defying not only gravity, but also the expectations of the modern world. The Korowai have a unique relationship with the world around them, where every detail of the forest is imbued with meaning. For this community, nature is not just an environment. It is a living entity filled with spirits that shape their lives. Among their most striking beliefs is the presence of the Kakua, malevolent spirits that, according to their traditions, can possess people and bring misfortune. This fear has given rise to rituals and practices aimed at driving away these negative forces, always accompanied by chants, dances, and body paintings made with natural materials such as clay and plant-based pigments. Despite contact with missionaries who introduce influences from other religions, many of these ancestral beliefs remain alive. After all, these practices are not just spiritual rituals, but also a way of preserving the group's identity and cohesion. Daily life reflects this deep connection with their environment. Food, for example, comes almost exclusively from the forest. The staple of their diet is sago, a flower extracted from the sago palm, used in various ways, from simple cakes to more elaborate dishes for special occasions. But there's something even more intriguing. Beetle larvae are considered a delicacy and are consumed as an energy source during celebrations and important moments. Hunting and fishing also supplement their diet, always carried out with simple tools like handmade bows, arrows, and nets. Social interaction is another defining feature. Nights around the fire are storytelling moments, where elders share legends and memories, ensuring that the younger generations know their history. This creates a strong bond among members, reinforcing values like unity and respect. Exposure to the outside world, however, has brought increased challenges. Diseases previously unknown to the Korowai arrived with foreign visitors, presenting new threats. The average life expectancy is around 45 to 50 years, due to harsh conditions and a lack of access to medical care. Even so, there is a continuous effort to preserve their cultural essence and adapt to changes without losing the traditions that define their community. Despite these difficulties, there is something profoundly inspiring about their story. Their ability to endure, to find joy in life at great heights, and to see the forest as an ally offers a powerful lesson. In a world that seems increasingly disconnected, there is much to learn from those who live in harmony with the essential. The story of this tribe is a true lesson in resilience and adaptation. In a world where everything seems to be accelerating and traditions are often swallowed by modernity, they show that it is possible to preserve identity without losing the sense of belonging. Despite the enormous challenges, from the impact of contact with the outside world to the extreme conditions in which they live, the strength and ingenuity of those who build a home 30 meters above the ground prove that with unity and respect for nature, any obstacle can be overcome. The tree houses are more than just impressive structures. They symbolize the human capacity to adapt, protect what is important, and remind the world that there are many ways to live, all equally worthy of admiration. If the Korowai have managed to live in harmony with the forest for so long, perhaps we can learn from them how to build a more balanced future, where progress and preservation go hand in hand. In the end, they might not be so isolated after all, for their story teaches us much about what truly matters.